Good evening, good evening. My name is Sherwin Dexter Jones, Councillor for St. Anne's Cascade, Monrepo West, and we're going to deal with some of the issues pertaining to the community. One of the things that as a representative you have to understand is that there are several aspects that we have to deal with. This afternoon I just want to touch on one or two aspects of representation, and one of the aspects is the infrastructure. Coming up in the next financial year, as the councillor, I plan to do some paving works in the Funzaman area, some paving works in the Simon Valley area, and also some infrastructure work as drains in the Arapita area. This is to really alleviate issues that people have been complaining about for the longest while, and I hope that we get the funding to do so. As a councillor, I have to deal with, as I said before, it is three basic spheres. One is the economics, one is infrastructure, and one is social. This coming year, what I want to do is I want to focus on a young lady who lives in the Hutton Road area. She's living under some conditions that are not necessarily conditions that one should be living in this day and age. So together with the Family Matters team, we're planning to go in and do some work with her in terms of getting a proper structure for her and her son. Hopefully we will have that started probably by the end of March, where we will have that under control. That is the social aspect of it. The infrastructural aspect of it, as I said before, there are several infrastructural works that has to be done in relation to the St. Anne's area and environs. One of the major things that we took on as the corporation some time ago is we had a collapse of the invert outside Cascadia. A lot of people were very disappointed when it broke, but the reason why we were able to move on it so quickly is because we had all the infrastructure, we had all the funding in place. At this particular point in time, I want to thank the rest of councillors who sit with me, who, when the circumstances came about, they had no objection in assisting in getting the funds available for us to do that particular piece of work. We also have work to be done in the, as I said before, in the Hutton Road area. Also, there's a particular portion of property up at Arapita Road where people were parking at the side of the road, and the community, it was looking kind of untidy. And as the council, I decided that we were going to make it official, and we made it into a car park. We put lines, we had it look, and everybody is really happy about that. And I really want to thank the residents for that input in getting that done. Sometimes people ask me why, I choose to become a councillor. And the reason why I became a councillor is not necessarily because of the politics. It's basically because of community activity. And one of the things that, ever since I was heavily involved in church, and one of the things that I stumble upon in my quest as a Christian is a particular portion of scripture in the book of James, where it deals with, tell a man be warm, be clothed, but you don't deal with the social, economic aspects of it. At the end of the day, going to a man and telling him about Christ and he doesn't have food to eat or he doesn't have a place to stay, it is really is heart-wrenching. So I got into this type of representation to try and make a difference in the social aspect of people's lives. It doesn't work out all the way that you want it all the times, but I really got into this just to be a support to help the community, not just the St. Anne's community, but the community, my country, my place of birth, to help in basically developing and seeing people rise from one level to the next level as an individual. Some of the challenges that I encounter, and not just I, but everybody who do in representation, basically, there are two challenges really and truly. One is that a lot of the times people come to you to ask you for things that you don't really have control over. As a local government representative, there is ambit that we work in, right? The other challenge that we have as councillors is resources. At the local government level, we have resources, but minimum. So we also have to go to the national level. But when you go to the national level, you're competing with everybody else. Even at the local level, you compete with everybody else. So I would say one of the major challenges as a councillor is resources. Having the resources available to get the work done. There is never a lack of things to be done. They always have things to be done. But the resources is where things are normally come at a stymied, or they don't really happen because of resources.